Praying hands. Namaste.
Namaste.
Okay, I want to talk about what we did last week to get our minds wrapped around what we're going to do this week. So, eyes up here.
Eyes up there.
Okay, so the very beginning of our forces unit, we started talking about friction. And we figured out that it's something that acts between two surfaces, making a grip. So we played tug of war and found out that our hands hurt because of the friction and the grip that was caused because of that. We also found out the next time that we did science with the game in the garden, we talked about gravity by doing the activity with the balloon falling down. And where does gravity pull everything to? Tim, where's it pull it?
Center of the earth.
Center, that's correct. And then after that, so last week we did an experiment, and we talked about what a variable means when we do an experiment. And a variable is something in an experiment which can be changed, measured, or kept the same. So I did a little diagram of what we did last week. What was the variable in the experiment we did last week? It was something in the experiment which could be changed, measured, or kept the same. What was the variable in the experiment last week? Remember, we were pulling it back, different distances, the band. Okay. Turn and talk with your partner. Go.
The matchbox. How far? So the first one would be 8, then you see, and then you measure how far it is. Oh, I can remember that one.
So what's being changed?
How far
And a hush fell over the crowd. Okay, talk to me about what you discussed with your partner. What was the variable? So what was changed, measured, or kept the same in the experiment? Nathan?
Matchbox.
What about it?
It was getting pulled back so it stayed the same.
So was the matchbox the variable?
Yeah.
Did it say the same?
Sometimes.
Okay, so sometimes it didn't. What about the distance? So we pull the matchbox back. Did that change? Or did you pull it back to the same position and then you measured it every single time? Joa?
No, you pulled it back to a different distance each time.
Yes, so the distance made a difference in the distance. The distance pulled back made a difference in the distance that it went forward. And that's what I made note of here at the very bottom. It says the greater the force acting on the object, the greater the effect. So when the force of us pulling back the rubber band was greater, what did you notice about the distance of the matchbox? When it was pulled back further and stretched further, what did you notice about the distance of the matchbox? Ellie? It went farther. Any other things that you noticed? Josiah, something different?
It went a few centimeters further than the last part.
So it went further. Good. That's right. So today, what we're going to do, I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes. Remember back to the very first week that we started the Forces unit. We were all sitting in the circle in this room, and Mrs. Casey put out a marble, and then we tried to hit the marble using something else in the circle, okay? Open your eyes. You also talked about the forces that happened. What's your comment, Joa?
I wasn't there that.
You weren't there that week? Well, that's right, you weren't back yet. So we all set a circle, and Mrs. Casey put a marble out, and then we tried to think of different ways to make the marble move. And then after that, we wrote in our science notebooks and labeled what happened to the marble after it moved and what caused it to move. So today, what we're going to do is you're going to be working with teams, okay? With your team, you're going to come up with a game, okay? The game has to be able to be explained by your speaker, okay? And it has to have some type of force acting on it, okay? And you have to be able to explain to me the types of forces that are happening in the game. So, let me give you an example just to make sure. So, for instance, if I wanted to show that what forces were happening, how many of you played bowling before? If you bowled, raise your hand. Hands down. So when you bowl, you have what are called pins at the end of the lane, and the pins are sitting there, and you have to, with a big heavy ball, try to knock down as many pins as possible. So the forces that would act in that game would be a push by the ball going down the lane, trying to knock down the pins. What do you think is going to happen when the ball is traveling? When the ball is traveling on the surface, it's going this way with the force, trying to knock down these pins over here. What's going to happen in this area? The ball is there, traveling that way. What's going to happen, Katie? Bounce or roll. So, hands down. So, on bowling alleys, the lanes have very little friction to make sure the ball goes there. So normally, if I were to just roll the ball on this carpet, there would be quite a lot of friction because it's not the right surface. But bowling, there's not much friction there. So we've got that force acting there. And then, what force is acting on the ball and the pins? What force is acting on the ball? I'll give you a hint. It's also acting on us right now. What is it, Josh?
Gravity.
It's gravity. Good. So that would be my game. My speaker would explain what bowling was, just like I did. I've labeled it with arrows, and I haven't done it yet, but I'll add captions in later on as well. So, you will be able to use materials that are in our science box. So who is the postal clerk? I keep forgetting it's just...
Nathan.
Nathan, can you go grab the science rolls? They're near the window by the door. You can go grab them and come back. What's your question, Haman?
Oh, can you play this?
We play the game. So what you'll do, you come up with a game with your group, and then after that, you may play the game until we all come together, and then you'll explain it to the group, okay? We have to be able to explain it to the group. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Give me a thumbs up if it does. And like this, be like, well, kind of. And then I don't know. Which one? Okay. Hands down. So, once I give you a number, I want you to put it in the air. So where are you putting your hands when I give you the number? In the
Air.
air. Wave them like you just don't care. All right, hands down. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Joe 4. Nathan 1. Hunjin 2. Josh 3. Mika 4. Put your fingers in the air with what group you're in. Hands down. Hands down. Number ones. Anyone from group number 1 want to be the director? So you are making sure that everyone is involved. So group number 1, who wants to be the director? All right. Anna's the director. Group number 2, who wants to be the director? Group number 2, Rohan. Group number 3, director. Haesung, director. Group number 4, director. All right, Tim. Good deal. All right, group number 1. Who wants to be the speaker? So you're making sure that or you are the speaker for the group. So you ask questions to me if your group has a question. You should also be able to know what's going on in your group at all times in case I walk by and ask. Group number 1. Who wants to be the speaker? Josiah. Group number 2, speaker. Kathy. Group number 3, speaker. 3, speaker. Raise your hand if you're in group number 3. Raise your hand if you're in group number 3. Alright. Number 4. Jen, speaker. And manager. So Judah and who just came in? Kimberly. Do you have a group yet?
No.
So Judah, you'll be in group number 1, and Kimberly, you'll be in group number 2. Okay. 2, 1. So number 1, manager. You're in charge of all the materials and making sure they get back to where they need to go, and making sure that your group has what they need to create their game. Managers for group number 1. Katie. Group number 2, managers. Group number 2. Hunjin. Can you pass that, Victor? Thank you. 3, manager. Oscar. 4, manager. Come in. Hands down. Eyes on me. Okay. What I want you to do, when I say go, I want you to go with your teams to the areas that I am going to say, okay? And then I want you to sit in a half a circle, and face me, okay? So you're facing me in a half circle. Does that make sense? Okay. Number 1s. You're gonna go to the library area when I say go. You go to that area. 2s, you go to the area near Mrs. Casey's desk. Not yet. 3s, you'll go near this area here, next to the cubbies and the pillows. And 4s, you're gonna stay right here in this area, okay? Questions about where you're going? Okay. Yes, Hannah.
Judah and Kimberly don't know what we're doing.
Right, well, I'm going to explain it again, okay? Thank you for checking. All right, move to your area and sit where you can see me. Go. I'm looking for a group that's ready for directions. Wow, group 2. Group 2 looks real ready. Hey, we're quiet, ready for directions. Okay, over here still. Eyes on me.
Eyes on you.
Okay, so Josh, I can't see you, and I can't see Rhythm either, so get to where you can. So move where you're sitting to where you can see me. So, with your group, you can use whatever is in the box for your game, as long as it gets brought back to the box, okay? And only the manager may go to the box and get stuff, okay? So the first step with your group is to come up with an idea for your game. And then after that, you'll have to think of ways in which you can gather materials, okay? Now you might be wondering with your group, well, I don't know what game we can play because I don't know the materials. So the manager may go to the box, look in the box, and then go back to the game, or go back to their group to figure out what materials they have to work with, okay? After that, decide with your group how you're going to play the game, And then speakers, you have to be able to explain it to the rest of the class using forces and describing what forces are acting in the game. Questions about that? Jen?
The speaker, do you actually like show them how to play, like
Why?
show the game?
Yeah, so we asked.
Tell them.
Yeah, so Jen asked if the speaker will be the one to actually show them how to play the game. And it depends on your game, but I'm kind of imagining that most of you will have to play you will have to be playing the game. More than one person at a time will have to be going, okay? So the speaker is just the one talking and explaining the game, but they can also be the one that shows how it works as well. But if I was a director, I'd probably try to make sure that everyone is involved, or that as many people were involved as possible. Other questions? Other questions? Okay, after you figure out what you might think your game may be, I would like the speaker to come to me before you can actually try gathering the materials and playing the game, okay? Questions about that? So who's coming to me after your team has decided what game you're going to play and what materials you're going to use? Who's coming to me? Raise your hand if you're coming to me. Okay. Questions? Hands down. Any other questions? Okay, start discussing with your groups about what game you might want to play. Go.
Let's do questions. What do we do? Maybe it could be like a ball. So you have a ball and then you have like a marble track. Use your green ball. Or the trees. I got an idea. Roll the ball and we like, why don't we like have this type of ball? Like, and then we have I know, we can make like a little car. Let's play the game. No, this is a broken whistle.
Questions?
But then you can also use the ball. Oh yeah, that's very good. This is but we have to
Who's the speaker? Okay, so what forces will be acting there? Okay, how many balloons do you need? Let's just do one. Okay, why don't you go to a different area in the other room and you can begin working, okay? Oh, questions? Yes?
It's going to be.
Do you know what we're doing? What are we doing? And a hush fell over the crowd. I like how you're excited about trying your activity out. I like how you're excited about trying your activity out, but it's way too loud in here. I can't hear your rhythm, and I'm about a foot away from him, okay? So you need to be working quieter with your teams. Okay. Questions about what you're doing right now? Go.
And we're gonna raise the dominoes with the ball, but if it stops, then we have to wait until it fully stops to push it again.
Okay. How many dominoes do you need? You don't need to use all of those. You can use maybe 10. So take 10 out and then put the rest back. Oscar, there's already one open. What are those for?
They're supposed to like make that, make like stages. So, we'll only need 2.
There's some open in here already. Don't open a new package unless you have to, okay? There's already some open.
Until it's finished.
Whatever's in there is left.
I need tape.
All that stick needs is in there.
Amen, do you know where a rubber band is?
So,
We need the rubber band.
how many dominoes do you have? I want you to use whatever's there. And who's your manager? Oscar, put the rest of the dominoes back, please.
And then we can make that to make it straight. Now we're making a rate.
Who's the speaker? What are we doing?
We're making like bowling, but then we're gonna make different kind of.
That's how I do it.
And then we're trying to make a game, so you have to try to hit the marbles, hit the bowling pins what Victor is making, and these are going to be like obstacles.
Those are going to be obstacles.
Yes, 6 shots.
Okay. Okay.
This could be.
How many marbles do you need?
Just 6.
Katie, take the rest back, please, with the lid.
No, you should wear the matchbox to shoot instead.
No.
Wait, we need this to do this bigger.
The ball just went.
No, Joel, we can't do it that low. We can't do it that low.
Do you have any questions, or are you okay?
No, we can do the groups. There's probably a sort of
It's not working because the ball is not going forwards.
Yeah, what I'm saying is we should use a matchbox to shoot.
Oh, okay.
We could use a matchbox.
Or is there a different way that you can situate the rubber bands?
Yeah, this is good.
We should mark the one going, and then you pick. Right? Mark
This one, right? This one. I'm trying to figure out, like, we need to make this, like, blocked off on the side so the marble can't roll off.
Okay, well, Judah, someone in your team might have an idea, so you should discuss it with them too.
I'll work on it. I just explained this.
When you hit them.
No, you should just. Oh, that would be a nice one.
Yeah, it falls and it's like when the dollars would keep on
Rhythm?
and just.
Where are the forces at work?
Actually, no.
Rhythm, you're the speaker, right? Where are the forces at?
So then there's gonna one force is gonna be gravity to like make sure it falls down. And it falls down. And another force will be the dominoes pushing another force. And the beginning force will be our hands pushing the dominoes.
Okay.
But I don't think we have a